James Lynch here for MMA News, joined by the number 3 ranked heavyweight Curtis Blaydes. Curtis, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, but I'm not doing double duty. You're like having a babysit right now. How's that going with training? And got to be the babysitter too.
I'm still adjusting. I thought I'd have it all down packed by now because she's 2 years old, but every day she got a new skill set I have to worry about.
Forget about training camp, being a babysitter. That's the real challenge there. By the way, a happy belated birthday because you just turned 2 recently, right?
Yeah, July 21st.
That's awesome. And how has that been, being on this journey as a dad? Because I know it's something that totally, is really changes everyone, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy bringing her along the journey. I wish I could have had her at the last fight because fans weren't allowed there. But it was cool to be able to immediately afterwards go hang out with her, go spend some time with her, and just having her part of the journey is fun. I can't wait until she's a bit older and she can grasp and understand what daddy does for work, and hopefully he appreciates it.
And you're obviously coming off a nice win in your last fight, and we're kind of figuring out who you're going to fight next, but we might have an idea after this past Saturday. Of course, Derrick Lewis getting that knockout win over Alexey Oleinik. First off, were you expecting that outcome? Because I think if I remember when we talked, I think you were thinking Oleinik was going to submit him, but how are you feeling going into the fight? I
mean, going into it's a win-win for me. I picked Alexey to win because I thought he gets that one takedown, it's going to be game over. But Derrick, he showed some pretty good submission defense. I don't know if it was his technique or just the fact that he has a really big head. It was hard for Oleinik to scarf him. But I was impressed by his defensive jiu-jitsu, and he got the knockout. Happy for him because that means we're one step closer to fighting.
Well, it's interesting because, in the post-fight presser, he seemed interested in fighting you, and I think that makes the most sense if you look at the rankings. Ngannou's going to fight the winner of Saturday's fight, right? And then I would think that you guys would fight next. But like we talked about in our last interview, it was very interesting that they booked that fight with him and Oleinik before the fight with you and Volkov. I think it was that week. Do you think it happens, honestly? Do you think the UFC's going to allow that fight? Because I know we sort of have this theory that they might be trying to get Lewis to avoid you.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't give it to me, then I'm really going to have suspicions of that. But I feel like it should happen. I've been asking for this for a couple years now. I've shown that I can handle elite strikers. He's a pretty good striker. I have a win over a guy that he's beaten, but that guy that he beat, Volkov, was pretty much kicking his ass for 2 rounds and almost pretty much the whole fight until the very end. So I think that it's a great matchup. And like you said, he's ranked right below me. So what are you waiting for? If we're going to do it, this is the time to do it. A title eliminator.
Well, he mentioned in the post-fight presser that he still wants to lose some more weight. He's kind of aiming at December for his next fight. Is that the right amount of time for you, or do you want to get back in there a little bit sooner?
I would wait for him.
Okay. Yeah, because it's the one name you haven't. I mean, you fought pretty much everyone in the heavyweight division already. Yeah. That's the one name where you haven't. We've talked about this before, but I'll ask you again. If that fight happens, how do you see that fight playing out? Because I think with your wrestling, it's very interesting.
I'm going to get the finish. It may be on the feet. It may be on the ground. Because he might pull a junior and be so resistant to the takedown and using everything to stop that he forgets about the striking, which opens up a nice overhand. It could be on the feet or it could be a ground and pound. Either way, I'm going to get the finish.
And let's say for some reason it doesn't happen. Do you see anyone else out there that would be a possible opponent?
Maybe if Jorginho beats Junior.
That's right.
Maybe Jorginho.
Yeah.
But not Verdum. He's not worth it. He got crushed by Oleinik.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of names though, because I figured you'd want to fight someone notable, but that's obviously has some wins. But yeah, you're right. Jorginho has to fight Junior, and if he beats him, then that's a fresh matchup. But you already beat Junior, so yeah. I mean, the options are limited. That's why I think this Lewis fight makes a lot of sense, right?
I think it's it makes the most sense. You could give me Jorginho, you could give Alistair to Derrick, but I feel like if you want to get rid of me, have Derrick do it, because I don't think nobody else can do it like he's your best shot. If y'all wanna, if the fans don't want to hear from me no more, he's the one to put me away because it won't be nobody else.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that actually. Like you've kind of turned into this like heel role, and I like it because like I think a lot of people were like giving you they were giving you a hard time about that last fight, even though I thought it was fine. But is that something you're embracing now, where it's like, you know what, if you don't want to watch me fight, give me these fights. Like I kind of like this new swagger from you.
Yeah, like I don't. These fans have shown me they don't understand MMA, so I don't care what you think. I don't care about your opinion because you don't know MMA. If you think that I'm really a guy who likes to lay and pray, you don't watch my fights. I've got a ton of finishes on the ground. I finished Abdurrahimov. I finished Alistair. I finished Cody East. I got a lot of finishes on the ground. Like, that's why I do my work at. If you don't want to watch high-level grappling, then yeah, you probably don't want to watch me fight because I'm going to use my high-level grappling because I have the clear advantage. And I'm always going to use the easiest path to victory, the one that requires the least amount of damage is grappling.
Some other stuff that's happened with you over the last like week and a bit is you're now with VaynerSports, VaynerMedia, with your management. I know your manager hasn't changed, but you've been a part of that group. Like, how cool is that to be a part of this pretty new, exciting venture that's going on in MMA right now?
I'm excited. I've never been a part of like the first of anything. This is cool to be a part of like the original group of MMA fighters working with Vayner, and I see only good things. I see only positives in my future and all the other fighters who came over.
Yeah, there's some big names in there, like from the original group you were part of. Like they've got Weidman now, who just won over the weekend. They got Anthony Lionheart-Smith. So it must be pretty encouraging to know that they're really signing some high-level guys and really, just making a statement. I felt like that's what it was when they had the press release out.
Making a big jump and making that they're for real. They're not just kicking off the guys at the bottom. They're going for big fish. And I like that they wanted me also because I view myself as a big fish also.
Yeah, that's great. Did you know much about Gary Vee before you signed on with him?
I knew about him just from his like inspirational videos, like the videos he's like, get up, get what you want, like those type videos. I've heard those, but I had no idea he was also trying to get into MMA. So
yeah, it's his brother, I guess, who's like the one who's like part of it, him and Lloyd. But still, that's cool. Maybe you can meet him because he's a good business guy. He can help you out with those T-shirts and stuff, right?
Crazy. That'd be dope.
Yeah, super valuable, obviously to have that. I got to ask you about Stipe and DC this Saturday because of the time we're recording this. That's going down. Really big fight for both of them. Now that you've had a chance, I'm sure, to watch some interviews or see some training or anything like that, how do you feel about the fight on Saturday? Do you see it going differently than the second fight, or do you see it being like the first? What's sort of your thoughts on the fight on Saturday?
Well, I've been hearing from DC that he's going to use a grappling heavy approach to this fight. If that's going to be his approach, I'm going to lean towards him. If he makes this a grappling match, I think he's the better grappler. And I think, it plays into his favor, and that bodes well for him winning. So, that's if he goes out with that game plan. Like, he could just toss that game plan out the window after he gets tagged a couple of times and gets dragged into another slugfest. And then if it stays on the feet, I go Stipe because he got the reach advantage, and that's how he was able to land all those hard body shots that ended the last fight. He uses his long reach. He's able to touch DC without getting touched himself. So if it stays on the feet, I go with Stipe. It depends on what DC wants to do. Like, he gets to dictate this. Like, if he wants to wrestle, he can do that. And he can win.
A lot of implications from this fight. First off, DC said that he says he's going to retire, win or lose on Saturday. Stipe saying the opposite, says he's going to continue fighting. What do you think will happen if DC wins? Do you see him stepping away, or do you think he'll come back for a Jones trilogy, or what do you think?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to lean towards he's going to keep his word and walk away into this sunset with the belt or without the belt. But if he does have that belt and they do offer him like a boatload to fight John Jones, I can't blame him for going
of course,
out.
Yeah, big payday.
And trying to secure the bag one more one more time. So I don't know. I'm hoping they let him walk away though. Like he's done so much for the sport. He's a Hall of Famer. Why not just allow him to have this last one and walk away?
Stipe loses on Saturday and DC retires. Do you think he'll still get another title shot after losing because he holds the win over Francis? Do you see that as a scenario?
It's a possibility. He has the pull. He has the claim. It's a legitimate claim. He does have a win over Ngannou. I could see him doing that, but I could also see them not doing that and giving a vacant title shot to Ngannou versus the winner of me and Derrick Lewis. It could go either of those two ways. I'm gonna lean towards if Stipe loses, he'll let Stipe have another crack at it. He deserves it. I wouldn't be angry at that either.
What do you think about the chatter that people are saying that Lewis's win on Saturday should get him to fight Francis for a vacant title if Stipe loses? What do you think of that? Because, I mean, he lost to JDS not that long ago.
No.
Yeah.
That's based purely off people like Derrick Lewis. Skill set wise, or based off merit, no. No, hell no. Like, you were in a bad position against a 42-year-old. Like, what? Come on, bro. No. That's a good win, but that doesn't automatically catapult you over me. No.
And then sort of last question on this fight. A lot of talk has been said, and I've been saying this as well on my podcast, that, the winner of Saturday probably goes down as the best heavyweight of all time. Like I think if Stipe wins, obviously has the heavyweight title defense record, he would have beat DC, who's already got had a win over him. He avenges that loss, decisively now. That would obviously put him there. And conversely for DC, if he beats Stipe, even though Stipe, maybe he doesn't have the resume that Stipe does, you sort of steal that thunder when you beat that guy twice. What do you think about that? Do you think the winner of Saturday becomes the greatest heavyweight ever?
I think that if it's Stipe, yeah, but not if it's DC, because he didn't go through the gauntlet that Stipe went through. Stipe went through Junior, he went through Alistair, he went through Verdun, he went through a lot of bad dudes. DC just kind of got to jump the line, and he's only really fought a heavyweight against Stipe. So I don't know how you do against Verdun. I don't know how you do against Junior. And I don't know how you do against Overeem. I know how Stipe does though. So
well, there's some people that have claimed as well because he had those wins in Strikeforce, like he beat Barnett and he beat I think it was Bigfoot Silva and Monson and stuff. Do you think that counts as well, or that shouldn't count for his legacy?
It does count, but I think even if you add those, I think that Stipe's heavyweight resume is just a little bit better. Just a little bit better. It's like the gap isn't huge. It's not a huge gap, but I think there is a minute gap.
What's the rest of the couple weeks looking like for you? Like, or I guess you're going to stay in Colorado, keep training as you wait for your next fight, or are you going to go back to Chicago? Any plans there?
No. I'm here. I don't know if you've heard, but Chicago right now is going through some issues, some racial tension type issues. So it's probably best to avoid it for now.
Yeah, a lot of violence out there, I guess.
Yeah, they had a lot of people went downtown after a policeman. I don't know if it's justified or not because it just happened, but he killed a perpetrator on the south side, and then a bunch of people, I guess, got angry about it, and they went downtown and they just destroyed the Michigan Avenue, where all the good stores are and stuff. They just destroyed that. So now police are on high alert and they got a curfew again. Because my brother, he's been telling me all this stuff. He's a police officer. So. Oh,
is he really? I didn't know your brother was. I knew your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Both my brothers. I have a brother in Chicago. That's a cop. My younger brother. My older brother's a police officer in Dallas.
Oh, okay. Well, that's crazy. Hitting pretty close to home. Last question. What's downtime looking like aside from babysitting? I'm sure you're watching all the kids shows, but getting in any video game time or what?
Yeah, I play a little bit. I definitely don't play as much as I used to when I lived with Austin, but he comes over every blue moon. We'll play some Madden. Yeah.
good. And quickly, I know your teammate Neil Magny was supposed to fight Jeff Neal. Sending my best to Jeff. Obviously, he's going through some health issues. But Robbie Lawler is going to be fighting Neal. You must be thrilled about that.
He is so geeked up. When he got the contract, he brought it to practice.
Oh, did he?
He couldn't stop. Yeah, he couldn't just stop screaming like, whoa, whoa.
That's awesome. Good stuff. Well, Curtis, I want to thank you so much for the time. Again, I know you're babysitting right now and you still did the interview, so I appreciate it. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media, the floor is yours.
Well, as always, I'd like to thank everyone at Elevation, because it takes a village to build a champion. That's what we got. We got a village. I'd like to thank my striking coach, Vinny Lopez, my jiu-jitsu professor, Cody Donovan, my new sports management group, Vayner. I appreciate them reaching out and extending the invite and bringing me a part of the group. And, Manscaped, they're sponsoring everybody now. So shout out to Manscaped. I just got my new razor. Been using that, enjoying myself.
Keeping your girl happy. That's good.